Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, May 12th, 2018, and I know many of you may be saying, huh? That's weird. I know it's a rarity. It's been quite some time since I have been streaming with you guys here on a Saturday. In fact, the past couple of months, Saturday has been my day off during the week, right, guys? And I know that. And I know this is a rarity. This is an anomaly rather than something that I usually do. So you may be saying, I wonder what's going on. Phil's streaming on a Saturday. Well, what is this? What's he doing today? What's happening? And all will be explained. I promise you all. That all shall be explained, okay? No worries. Actually, here we go. I didn't have the stream stats up by accident. There we go. Now they're up. So yes, welcome to my first of 2 gameplay streams for the 12th of May, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hold on a second here. Where's my webcam? Oh, that's why I couldn't see my webcam. I was like, why can't you see the webcam? Because I had the thank you screen up. Okay, there we go. Now I can bring this back. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a double streaming day. Today will be 2 streams of gameplay. I know, not only am I streaming on a Saturday, which I usually don't do, it's a double stream day too. I know, what an oddity. But don't worry, we'll explain everything in just a moment here. Okay? So, welcome. What can you expect today on stream? Well, today is the continuation of my Dead Space 2 retro replay, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I've done 2 sessions so far, roughly around 8 hours of gameplay of Dead Space 2 thus far, and I'm really enjoying replaying this game and re-experiencing it. It's been quite more challenging than the original run, that's for sure. Now, keep in mind, when I first played this game in 2011, I really had only been back into playing console video games for about maybe 2 years, 2.5 years. So, I mean, quite frankly, I sucked. Let's be honest here. I was a lot worse at gaming back then than I am now. 7 more years of experience under my belt. So, playing these games at normal difficulty was challenging and daunting even for me back then. This time around, I am playing it on Zealot difficulty, and if you guys don't know what that means, it is the hardest difficulty setting available in the game. It's incredibly tough in certain parts. Last time I played, there were 3 different rooms where I had nearly no ammo. Enemies were insta-killing me, and I had to basically find a way to get past gauntlets of enemies with very limited ammo and not getting hit at all. It was pretty damned challenging, but at the same time, I think people are really enjoying the playthrough because it is so different, right? And, let's face it, recently I've been playing some quite challenging games. Obviously Bloodborne, plus the Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC, and then even doing the Chalice dungeons and playing it on New Game Plus a little bit. God of War, even though the standard combat of the game ain't too challenging, I did all the optional stuff with the Valkyrie boss fights and everything. So I've been doing some pretty challenging stuff recently, and then when I started this game up again, I said, I don't just want to do the regular run again that I did, 7 years ago. Let's mix it up. Let's make it more challenging. And so let's do a Zealot difficulty run. So I think you guys have been liking it. I've noticed. I've noticed that you guys have been coming out in droves to watch the Dead Space streams. You've been very supportive recently with cheer subs and tips during this playthrough. So you guys obviously are liking it, and I'm liking it too. I really like going back not only to a game from my 10-year history as a content creator and gamer on the internet, but also doing it at a harder level and a challenging level that entertains you guys. So it's a win-win for both of us, I think. Okay? So all that being said, guys, 4 more hours of Dead Space 2 today. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute. How long is the game? How far are you into the game? Are you going to finish it up? What's going on? Well, I'm just starting Chapter 10. For those of you who are not aware, this game has 15 chapters. And Chapter 10 is your return to the Ishimura, the ship from the very first game. So you get to see a lot of the same areas and stuff from the original game, which is kind of sweet. It's a cool throwback. And if I remember correctly, alright, I believe there's 1 or 2 stages. Okay. And if I'm remembering correctly, then you get to the final area where basically you're going to the big marker and you start to learn information. And then I remember the regenerator begins, I believe. And the Regenerator is very challenging, even without Zealot difficulty. So I could just imagine how tough this thing is going to be with Zealot difficulty. It's probably going to be insta-killing me like crazy. So basically, there's 6 chapters left. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right? So I'm 9 chapters in, 6 chapters to go. If I remember correctly, some of the final chapters are quite lengthy, okay? So in reality, will I be beating Dead Space 2 today? I would say if I do really well, okay, and I manage to not really die that much, yes, I could probably beat it today. But chances are the fact that the ammo is getting a lot more scarce and the game is getting way tougher, I think I'm going to die a ton today. I really don't foresee myself beating it today, unless, a miracle happens, okay? So we're going to see as far as I can get today. All right, tonight I will be doing a second stream. That's right, today is a double streaming day. And it is going to be Yakuza 6, continuing on. I played it twice this week. We had tons of fun plot advancement, and then we had some quirky side content when I last played this Thursday night. I'm looking forward to 2 more hours of Yakuza 6 later tonight. I hope you guys will join me for that. At this point, I don't know how far I am into Yakuza 6, but I actually really am enjoying the plot. It's like a murder mystery plot at this point. And I like that kind of stuff. So, continuing that on tonight, all right? Tomorrow, my final stream before time away, okay? And you might say, well, what is Phil going to play? The last thing he's going to do before several days off? It all depends. If I didn't beat Dead Space 2 today, then tomorrow we're going to finish it up, all right? Now, if I finish Dead Space 2 on stream today, then tomorrow I have an entire stream to do whatever I want, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. All right. If I do need to finish Dead Space 2 tomorrow, but I finish it up early, then I'll probably switch over to a different game. Maybe just another mini session of Ultra Street Fighter 2 or something like that, just to finish off strong before my time away. Okay. So yeah, so there will be a full gameplay stream tomorrow, Sunday, but what it will be is kind of up in the air, depending on how today's stream goes. Okay. Tomorrow night, no second stream, because I'll be doing the weekend preview and patron stuff, and basically kind of preparing for my time away from streaming this week. Got a few things I want to do to get set up for some fun stuff that I'm going to be doing with, Kat over the next few days. All right. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 14th, 15th, and 16th of May, I will not be live streaming. All right. I just want to reiterate this to you guys. No live streams for 3 days. Now, normally I take 1 day off a week. Okay, so really what I've done is I've taken the 2 days off that I normally would take. I combined them, and then I added a single day. So in reality, I'm only taking 1 extra day off than what I usually do. But I need it for multiple reasons. Number one, I need a break. Okay, I've been streaming constantly, and it's now the spring, beautiful weather. Big opportunity to take advantage of this weather to do stuff, and I haven't done anything because I've been here every day in my office all day. Okay, that's number one. Number two, rest up my voice. Hopefully my voice will even feel a lot more refreshed after 3 days of not constantly talking on the streams. Number three, spending significant time with Kat, who I've wanted to spend time with for quite, weeks. And it sucks because we have busy work schedules. We don't really get to see each other normally during a normal day. So this will be a good opportunity for us to spend some quality time together. And it's going to refresh me. And what I mean by that is sometimes when I do something, boom, bada boom, bada boom, back to back to back to back to back, without any kind of a significant break, it can get pretty tiring. For example, I haven't had any real break since February. If you remember, when Kat moved in, I took several days off to coincide with her moving in with me. And then I came back, and all of February, March, April, and now into May, I really haven't had any significant time off at all. So I figured this is a good opportunity to do so before we get into the busy stuff. Because just so you guys know, when I come back on Thursday, all right, which is going to be the 17th of May, I'm going to be doing Ultra Street Fighter 2 and PUBG as my return streams. Then on Friday, it's the launch of State of Decay 2. I'm going to be getting the Collector's Edition, Digital Deluxe Edition, whatever you want to call it, that allows you to play it a few days early. So all weekend, I'll be playing State of Decay 2, balanced with other stuff like Yakuza, etc. And then the next week, we've got H1Z1. All right, and then we've got Detroit Become Human, and then we've got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, then we've got Vampire and Shaq Fu, and then it's time for E3. So we've got a ridiculous amount of crazy fun new stuff coming up for you guys, you know, in the next few weeks. It's going to be a lot of content, a lot of streaming, a lot of fun. But that's what I mean. This will be a perfect opportunity for me to maybe step away for a few days, relax, right? Have some time with Kat, and come back refreshed and raring to go, eager to play again, rather than, you know, being here every day, the daily grind, boom, 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 and get a little bit burnt out, which, you know, I feel burnout every once in a while, and this is a good opportunity for me to get rid of that, okay? So there you go. Should be fun, and I hope you guys are ready for all the fun new stuff that I'll be covering after my 3 days off of streaming, okay? Now, in the meantime, there will be some videos. I'll still be uploading some videos to YouTube. Definitely Street Fighter. I don't know if I'll have any excess videos of anything else to upload, but I definitely know I'll have, you know, Ultra Street Fighter 2 videos that'll be going live on my DSPGaming channel on YouTube while I'm away. And then when I'm back, you know, things will be back to normal. The daily schedule shall resume. All right. All right, so there you guys go. Now you know what to expect. Hope you guys are excited for everything coming up. I certainly am. Should be great. You know, it'd be one thing if I was coming back and there was nothing new, but now because there's new stuff coming out as soon as I'm back, I think it's going to get people back to the streams relatively quickly, which is a good thing. You know, having people away from streams for a week or two would not be good, but I think people will come back rejuvenated and ready for new stuff, and I will be as well. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's the deal. That's the schedule. Hope you guys are excited. Apologies that I won't be here for a few days, but hey, you know, it's necessary. You know, most people have a work week where they work, you know, 5 days a week, or so sometimes 6, but usually 5 days a week, and then they have time around their work and time on, you know, where they have significant time with their family or whatever. I don't really get that. You know, I'm here 6+ days a week sometimes. So this is a rarity that I finally get the time off, and I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. Trust me. All righty. Also, as you can see, guys, for today's stream of Dead Space 2, we've brought back the leaderboard, so we're going to have a running tally of how many subs I have on the channel, and the current top cheerer and top tipper. So, if you cheer or tip, you have a chance to get on that leaderboard and get your recognition during the course of the gameplay stream, which is awesome, right? And also, we are pushing towards 475 subs. If we hit 475, I'll be doing a special Street Fighter Challenge Run event where I'll be playing all of the arcade modes of the upcoming Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition collection, and the hardest difficulty, and attempting to beat them all in a marathon setting, okay? So it should be a lot of fun, and I really want to do this event. I've never done a challenge run event like this before, ever, but we have to hit the subs goal. Right now, we're under 40 away. We could definitely do it by the end of the month, so if you like my content, you want access to the emotes, you don't want to watch advertisements when I run them during breaks, and if you want to get a nice chat crown badge and support the stream, please consider subscribing. All right, guys. Very nice. All right, so that's it. Let's go ahead and do some quick plugs. Let's get through some quick plugs. Then I'll do shout-outs for you guys. All right. And then we'll get ready. We'll get ready to start up. Sound good? All right, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my 10th anniversary, if you're not aware. 10 years as a content creator on the internet. Putting out daily gameplay videos, sharing my live experiences with you guys on the fly, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love doing it for a job, and, you know, I love being my own boss. I wouldn't give this up for the world if at all I could help it, okay? So, thank you for 10 years of support. Whether you watch my live streams, you watch my on-demand videos on YouTube, or both, it is much appreciated. That being said, if you would like to aid in the effort to allow me to continue to do this on a daily basis, if you love the daily content, you want to see it continue, there are many ways outside of just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher that you can help support as well. And I'm going to outline some of those for you right now. The very first way is Patreon, over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil, where your contributions to my monthly pledge campaign help me with the cost of doing business, including the cost of internet, the cost of electricity, the cost of all the games. I mean, just in the next few weeks, I'm going to have to be buying anywhere from 4 to 5 new video games, and, you know, it's expensive. It adds up to hundreds of dollars, if not more, okay? So your Patreon pledges allow me to continue to do this, and they help me out significantly. The cool thing, though, about pledging to my Patreon over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil if you want to check it out, is that you earn personal perks for your contributions and you get stuff back. It's yes, you give, but then you get stuff back as well. What are some of the things you can earn? Well, you can get premium forum access to my forums, which allows you to nominate and vote on games for events. Right now, people who pledged to my Patreon in April are nominating games for an upcoming Patron's Choice playthrough that will take place during the summer. Okay? In addition, you can get text or verbal shoutouts in my videos. You can get your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, or you can even get a private Q&A video made where I'll just sit down and answer anything you guys have to ask for a good 20 to 30 minutes, okay? I don't want to go too much into detail. Just give it a look over at patreon.com/darksidephil. All the details are there. And thank you very much to everyone who has contributed in the past. And thank you to everyone who is currently a contributor or maybe considering doing so in the future. It is a big help. And thank you guys very much, okay? Number 2, I have a Teespring. That is right, folks. I have a Teespring where I sell merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, all kinds of fun stuff. All right? All kinds of great stuff. And if you give it a look over at my Teespring shop at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming, you'll find a wide variety of logos, designs, and artwork, all made by viewers and fans. I personally can attest to the quality of this stuff. Reason being, I personally own a bunch of it. Okay, I own shirts, a hoodie, not a hoodie, excuse me, a sweatshirt and a mug. And I use these frequently on streams. Great quality stuff, all right? If you buy something from my Teespring, I get a commission. Okay? And it helps me out. But you also get a cool collectible, so it's a win-win for both of us, okay? So check it out. And thanks to anyone who may purchase something. Appreciate that, all right? But folks, last but not least, obviously if you're here live on the stream, the way that you may want to, contribute and maybe get a shout-out during the stream if you're excited, right? Oh, I like what Phil's doing, and I like this playthrough, and I want to give a shout-out during the stream, or maybe I want to ask him a question or have a funny comment or something, whatever it may be. You could do this via 3 methods. You could either cheer with bits, or you could subscribe to the channel, or you could tip me, okay? If you do any of those 3 things, I'm going to give you a shout-out during the course of today's stream. Now, in addition to that, maybe you'd like to get visual recognition, right? Maybe you'd like to get visual recognition for your contribution. Well, you could do that as well if you either cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and click the share button after it appears, or if you tip me $5 or more, you'll also get an on-screen thank you animation that will play along with your message. All right, pretty cool. You get visual and verbal recognition. Now, there's a couple ground rules I want to cover for the shout-out system. All right, number 1, please be concise. Be as to the point as you can, as short-worded, right, as possible. If you're long-winded and you do a cheer that's like 10 sentences and is a giant paragraph, chances are I'm not going to read the whole thing on stream because it's just going to derail the stream and take too long. In addition to that, please try to be on topic to the game. It's okay if you want to do something completely random, but please don't continuously keep cheering small cheers and doing ridiculously off-topic things that are going to distract us. Especially, I'm playing a survival horror game. Don't take us out of the immersion of the game. In addition, please be positive. During a stream is not the time to start cheering and saying things like, oh, Phil, this guy insulted you, and this guy's stealing your content, and this guy called, your mother a baboon. I don't need to hear this kind of stuff. This is silly stuff that is, schoolyard bully stuff that I don't care about. I'm here to put out a fun, entertaining gameplay stream and interact with you guys and have a good time, not to be sitting here and focusing on drama and nonsense and kiddie stuff, all right? So please keep that out of the shout-out stuff. Keep in mind, it is at my discretion what I read during the stream. Chances are, if I see negative stuff, I'm not going to read it, okay? Just saying. I have no obligation I have to read anything. So all that being said, thank you to anyone who does cheer, sub, or tip during the stream. In general, the vast majority of people, I'd say probably around 90 to 95% of people get it, and the streams end up being very positive and fun. It's just a few, every once in a while you get a bad apple who wants to try to do something nasty, and we just ignore them and move on, right? That's all you can do. Now, I've already mentioned that we are going for subs, a sub goal of 475 subs, so subbing helps a lot, but I will also mention tips, because you may be wondering, how do tips work? Phil, I'm looking right now at the stream, and I can see I have the ability to cheer with bits, or I can subscribe to your channel, but I don't see anything about tipping. How does this work? And, what's the difference? and what's the deal? All right. Well, tipping me is separate from anything through Twitch. FYI, it is. It's a completely separate process. Right now, tipping me helps significantly. The reason being is because right now, I'm in the process of receiving, I actually just got it starting to clear yesterday, my payment for my YouTube performance 2 months ago, which is great. Once the money comes through, I'm good. Problem is, it's processing, and it takes 3 to 5 business days to process. So I may not even have this money until like the middle of next week. Problem is, a bunch of my bills all cleared the last week and a half, which pretty much completely emptied out my bank account. In particular, I have way less money than usual. Reason being, I paid my federal taxes last month, and it completely emptied out my bank account. I'm very nervous that in the next couple of days, my bank account is going to overdraw. Now, the good news is you guys have been very generous with tips the past week, and every time you guys send me tips, I've been putting it right into the bank account. Boom, boom, boom. And it's been clearing everything, so we're good so far. But I still got a few days left, and I am nervous. So, if the preferred method, if you are going to contribute today on the stream, would be to tip me. It's going to help me out in the most, all right? Because those are funds that are going to go right to my bank account and help me to avoid an overdraft of my bank account, which would be very bad, okay? But that being said, you might say, well, how do I tip then? I don't understand. 2 ways that you could do it, guys. Number one, you can, if you're watching the stream right now live, and you look below the stream on my Twitch channel, you may see a grid of information, and there's a tip jar button. If you click on it, it takes you to my tips page where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message to get a shout out during the stream. That's one method to tip. Number two, maybe you don't see that information. A lot of you probably don't because you may be watching on mobile devices which don't display those buttons. If that's the case, you could type in !tip, okay, into the stream chat. And if you do that, it'll bring up a link that you can click on and take you directly to the tips page as well. So 2 different ways you can get to it. All right. Give it a look. And, you know, if you do tip me, thank you very much. Appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. And this week in particular, it helps me out a lot. The bottom line is by the end of this week, it won't matter anymore. Whatever you guys do, cheering, subbing, or tipping, it'll all be equal. But this particular week, tipping is the way to go because of the situation. All right. All right, guys. So that is it for the plugs. I have finished the plugs. Let us now do the shout-outs, meaning for people who have cheered, subbed, or tipped. I want to give you guys credit where credit is due. I'll be updating the leaderboard here in just a moment once we get through this, so let's go ahead. First of all, all right, first of all, guys, in particular, I want to thank you to those of you who keep me in mind when I'm not even here. And what I mean by that is there are people who enjoy my content so much, and maybe they can't necessarily be here for the live streams, but they come on by when they have some free time. Typically, it's overnight when I'm not here on stream. And they still cheer, sub, and tip. It's pretty damned awesome that I have supporters who keep me in mind when I'm not even here live on the stream. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. I know. It's hard for me to believe, too, that people actually like me and my content enough that they come by when I'm not even here. So let's give credit where credit is due. Overnight, we had 3 cheers. One from Infinite55, so thank you, Infinite. And then Golden Colts also did 2 cheers overnight. So thank you very much to Golden Colts for the overnight cheers as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for your support. All right, now, let's go ahead and let's get into the shout-outs for people who actually contributed during today's stream, all right? So first of all, we had a tip to start, which is great because we're going to be able to immediately start up here with a tip update. But it's from an anonymous tipper. They tipped me $1. Let's read what it says here. It says, sorry, I don't mean to be that guy, but Zealot is not the hardest difficulty of Dead Space 2. Hardcore is the hardest, as it only lets you save 3 times. Sorry for being that guy. Carry on, laughing out loud. I beg to differ. I actually beg to differ, and here's why, because you may not realize this, anonymous tipper, but what you said is not true, okay? It is true that hardcore mode only allows you to save 3 times. That is correct. But hardcore mode is not the hardest difficulty, because the game has 4 difficulties. Well, I take it back. I think the game has 5. I think there's easy mode, normal mode, survivalist mode, which is considered hard, zealot mode, which is considered very hard, the hardest difficulty level, and that's the one I'm playing at. And then once you beat the game on any of those difficulties, it unlocks hardcore survival, or hardcore mode, okay? So currently I couldn't have played hardcore mode anyway, because I would have had to gone through the game once before. So what is hardcore mode? Well, hardcore mode does, you're correct, it limits you to only being able to save the game 3 times during the course of the game, okay? That is correct. However, what you're not aware of here is that the game does not play at the toughest difficulty when you do hardcore mode. Because the game only allows you to save 3 times, it actually plays at survivalist difficulty, which is hard, not hardest. So it's kind of a trade-off. Is it tough? Of course it is. But it's more about time management and save inventory management. You know you can only save 3 times versus actual difficulty level of the game. You know, in Zealot mode, enemies are touching me once, and I have full health, and I'm dying instantly. That's pretty damn tough. Apparently in survivalist mode, it ain't that bad, but they did that to account for the fact that you can only save 3 times. Because imagine if you were instantly died all the time, and you can only save 3 times. Like, I mean, really, that would just be like putting your balls on a cheese grater. So, that's why I think they did it that way. So technically, you're wrong, even though I get what you're saying. Some might say that hardcore mode is the toughest mode because of the save management. Others might say, no, overall, if you're just looking apples to apples, no, the difficulty challenge of Zealot mode is the hardest. So, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, but at least I don't have to do any kind of save management. There you go. What a long-winded explanation, but there you go. All right, so Anonymous, an anonymous tipper. Oops. Up on the leaderboard. Thank you, anonymous tipper, for that $1 tip. Appreciate it. Okay. Shout out to AES 0411 who cheers. Says, what are your thoughts about LA Noire? I find it very difficult to pay attention because there's a large amount of cases and not all of them are interesting or connect to other cases. Well, you might not be aware of this, AES. I played LA Noire. I replayed it earlier this year. Back in February, actually, during downtime when there was like no new releases going on. I replayed LA Noire. Now, I'd only played the game once ever when it was a new release back in, what was it, 2010, I want to say? So it was a long time ago. And replaying the game, I'll be honest, I liked it. I actually liked doing the story again and kind of re-enjoying some of the cases and interrogations. At the same time, there were a few cases that really annoyed me because some of them you have to find a clue that you can't really see. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little annoying in that regard. In some cases, I swear during the interrogations, I did the right thing and it still told me I did it wrong. It's funny because in some cases, you can actually come to different outcomes depending on how your interrogations go. Sometimes you can find the right culprit, sometimes you don't, but the case still ends and the game still continues. Basically, there's no way to fail at LA Noire. There's not. There's no way you could ever fail and the game ends. It's all about, you know, just keeping at it. Personally, I like LA Noire. I think it's kind of an anomaly among modern gaming. First of all, it's a kind of game that Rockstar usually would not put out. And the fact that it did manage to do it and it ended up being really successful, you know, something cool. Also, the fact that it'll never continue because the game studio, Team Bondi, immediately disbanded and was fired/released after the game came out. And there's a big, controversial, dramatic story behind that. If you want to read about it, you can read about it on the internet, all kinds of labor issues and stuff. But that being said, I do like LA Noire, and I really did enjoy replaying it earlier this year. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not. There's some people who really, you know, I don't like that. I'd rather prefer a different kind of game. I get that. For me, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a breath of fresh air. So there you go. All right, shout out to User Jen. User Jen subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the sub, User Jen. Appreciate that very much. And thank you for the support. UCK14K did a 50-bit cheer. Thank you, UCK. You're currently the cheerleader for the stream. He says, I've been with your YouTube channel since Left 4 Dead 1, when you cursed out some guy for not giving you a med kit, and I died laughing. Then I hear you played in tourneys for Street Fighter. It made me love your content even more, so keep up the good work. Yeah, I mean, I've been around the block, man. Like I said, 10 years as a content creator. There's been a lot of different stuff I've done over the years. You know, in particular, I love covering Street Fighter because those are my roots. That's where I grew up in arcades playing arcade Street Fighter on cabinets, you know. And that's why this upcoming anniversary collection is going to be so meaningful for me. I'm going to get to replay these games from my youth that, you know, mean a lot to me. This is, you know, every weekend I would spend hanging out with friends in an arcade competition in person, playing games and hanging out and having fun. And those were the days, as they say. Those were the days. Right? It was a very different culture. There was no online gaming at the time. It was a different time in the 1990s, let me tell you guys. But I love that. But also, I love the fact that I cover modern games too. You know, I'm not a one-trick pony. I don't only play one style of game, only cover one style of game. And I'm certainly not trash-talking anyone who does. But I really feel that if I really only focused on one style of game and only did that, I would become burnt out. I would hate what I do. It would be more of a grind, all right, doing what I do for a living. Because I look at some of these people who, for example, all they do, all right, is play fighting games. This is it. This is their streams. This is their channels. This is all they do. And I couldn't imagine doing that. I would be so tired and bored. Like, no lie. And this is coming from someone who used to be a pro-level fighting game player. I used to, you know, go to tournaments, grind it out, play through brackets of people, do hundreds of hours of practice against everyone, you know, pay for hotel accommodations and flying out to go across the country to play in these tournaments and everything. So I get it. I understand the competitive bug. But imagine if that's all I did ever was play Street Fighter on the internet. I would lose my friggin' mind. I love being a variety style guy. Because not only does it allow me to cover fighting games in my own manner, you know, whether it's a game that I really like and I play it a lot online and I get good at it, or if it's a game maybe I just play casually, I go through the story mode and try out a couple characters and mess with the online play, and then I move on to something else. It gives me the flexibility to do that, and you guys aren't so demanding that Phil has to play every fighting game and be a professional level player at every one because that's what he does. You know, I don't have to do that. That's relieving. I can just wait for game releases to come out, check them out, and have fun with them. And you know, it's a ton of fun. Variety, all right, variety is the spice of life, as they say, okay? It is. It's the spice of life. And I enjoy doing this way more than if I just did... Honestly, this is my hobby, but it's also my job. I feel like if I only did one thing, I would just feel like it was my job, and that was it. My job is to cover fighting games, and now I'm bored as fuck, right? Imagine if I was forced to play Street Fighter V at launch, which I absolutely hated, and I was forced to play it a million times and just stomach how bad the game was because that's what I was known for. I would have lost my friggin' mind. Seriously. War Thunderbox in the stream chat literally just said this. He said, no lie, whenever you talk about Street Fighter, I lose interest. I'll be mega bored if all you did was Street Fighter. And that's why I understand that. You know, I've been around for 10 years. And I've done such a wide variety of content in that 10 years. A lot of people like that of me. And that's why, honestly, I think I've had the longevity that I've had is because at any day you could come by and watch me do something completely different, right? And that's the cool thing about it. So, there you go. Thanks, guys, for your support. I really do appreciate it. All right. Shout out to Grazy Dream, who did a 100-bit cheer and said, to B2T, the best Minecraft server. I guess he's advertising his Minecraft server. Who knows? But anyway, top cheer for the day. Let's get him up on the leaderboard. 100 bits. Very nice. Thank you very much for the cheer. All right, moving on. Tentacle Strike Aquaman just cheered. He said, Phil, I am semi-new to your content. I never find your playthroughs when I search YouTube. What's up with that? It's very simple. YouTube is terrible. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to make excuses. YouTube is a piece of garbage. It really is. It's a piece of garbage. The website is completely automated. The algorithms that they use for search, the algorithms that they use for flagging content ID, the algorithms that they use for demonetization, none of them work. All right? Yet, they still remain the top video sharing website because they have funding from Google. It's that simple. If you actually want to find my content on YouTube, the best way to do it is to go to my channel page. All right, then click on the playlists tab, and then click on the search functionality and type in what you're looking for on that playlists tab. So youtube.com/DarksidePhil. Excuse me, but that's wrong. Let's try that again. youtube.com/DSPGaming. That's the channel you want to go to. Then click on the playlist tab, then go to the search and type in what you're looking for. Now, the truth of the matter is, I'm one of the most, if not the most, single-handed prolific YouTuber there is. You're not going to find a single person on YouTube who's put out as much content as I have in the last 10 years. No one has shared as much of their life with you as I have. Daily vloggers put out a vlog a day, right? News sites put out a couple news stories a day. I put out anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of gameplay a day that I work, okay? And it's been like this for 10 years. So you're going to find no lie, probably around 50,000 plus videos of my gameplay content on YouTube. But if you use regular YouTube search, you won't ever find it. What you need to do, again, is go to the channel page and search for the game. So, for example, go to DSPGaming on YouTube, click the playlists, click on the search, and then search for, let's say, I don't know, Uncharted 2. And boom, it'll bring up my Uncharted 2 playthrough for you right away. All right? But that's how you have to do it. You have to approach it like that because sadly, YouTube, if you just search for my stuff in this regular search, probably won't even show up. All you're going to get is garbage content, drama videos, things completely unrelated to me playing games, which is, I know, really stupid, but that's the problem with that. It sucks. The website's garbage, and it always has been. So there you go. All right, shout out to Big Tone 995, who just tipped me $10. Thank you very much, Big Tone. You're going to make it on the leaderboard here. In fact, let me go ahead and get you updated on there right now before I even read your shout-out message. Hold on. Thanks very much, Big Tone, for the tip. Appreciate that. And I should probably get the status bar there, stream stats onto the screen because they were hanging off. And he says, hey, Phil, keep up the great streams. Glad I call myself a fan for 10 years, and here's to 10 more. Looking forward to more Dead Space 2. So am I. Although I am really getting to the part where it's tough as hell, but I'm enjoying myself, so I hope you guys are liking the playthrough too. Thank you for the support, Big Tone. All right, I received another anonymous dollar tip. Thank you very much to whoever this is from. They said, why don't you finish playing Crysis 3? Thanks, DSP. Keep it up. Well, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, holy crap. Crysis 3 is a game from a million years ago. I mean, probably over 5 to 6 years ago. I remember, okay, it released for consoles, and I was playing it, and it was terrible. The game was buggy as hell, and I just didn't like it. I thought the game was just kind of really, like, not well designed, and thought that it was kind of a joke. I know I had played Crysis 2 before, and although Crysis 2 definitely was not a perfect game, I thought it was enjoyable. Crysis 3, I was playing it, and like after about 2-3 hours, I hated it. I just didn't want to play it anymore, and so I stopped playing it. This is a million years ago, by the way, guys, like I said. So you are literally the first person in history to have come back and asked me to come back and play Crysis 3 again. I think people kind of collectively agree Crysis 3 is terrible, which is why the whole series died after the game. There never was another Crysis game after Crysis 3 because the game was so bad. So, no, I will not be going back to play Crysis 3. But thank you for the tip, definitely. I appreciate it. All right, shout out to Archippa, who just did a 1,000-bit cheer to become the cheerleader for today's stream. Thank you, Archippa. Let me get you up on the stream stats here before we continue. Very nice. Thank you very much for that supportive cheer. And Archippa says the following. They say, Phil, I found you and all of your Dark Souls gameplays interesting, and I've been an occasional watcher ever since. Your streams are the perfect thing to have on my second monitor while I do other stuff. Cheers for the content. Thank you, Archippa. I have heard that many times over the years, that what people like to do is kind of have me as the funny background noise, right? Play my streams, play my videos on YouTube as kind of something ongoing while you're busy doing other stuff. I hear you. What I actually used to do is I would be sitting on like my phone playing a mobile game, and then I would watch TV or, you know, something like that. So I get the feeling that's what a lot of people do. They have me as the ongoing thing playing while they kind of do other stuff that's kind of a time killer thing. So awesome. Good to hear that I entertain you. Thank you for the support, Archippa. Thank you for the cheer. Appreciate it. All right, Cactuar Chaos just cheered, did a Kappa face to start, and then asked, will you be playing Dragon Quest XI when it comes out in September? Shame it comes out 3 days before Spider-Man. Yeah, here's the thing. You guys may not know this because I really have not talked about it that much. I am a big fan of traditional JRPGs. That you guys do know. But I am a fan of the Dragon Quest series. In fact, it was during right before I started on YouTube. I'd probably say the years of 2007 to 2008. I was playing a lot of games on my Nintendo DS at night. Like, I would go to work. Keep in mind, this was before I was doing YouTube videos. What I would do is I would come home from work, and sometimes I would play games to get myself reacquainted with modern gaming. Or sometimes I would play on my DS, and I actually played 2 or 3 different Dragon Quest games on my Nintendo DS at the time. And I loved them. I thought they were really good games. Keep in mind, Dragon Quest is great, but also is a grinding style game where you do a lot of repetitive combat. And like a lot of people don't like that when it comes to modern gaming. They want the more action-based games. They don't like the turn-based stuff, right? But anyway, yeah, like I really enjoyed playing those Dragon Quest games on my Nintendo DS. Now, funny story, earlier than that, I'd say probably a few years before that, I was living in New Haven, Connecticut, in an apartment with 2 other roommates. And at the time, I had wanted to play Japanese import games on my PlayStation 2. And so what I had done is I had modded my PS2 to be able to play these games. All right, you had to do a hardware modification to get this to work. So I remember I was playing, like, there was a Dragon Ball game that I was playing that was a Japanese game and a couple other games. But I had also bought Dragon Quest. I think it was Dragon Quest 9 or 10, whichever one was the PS2 game. It had really high ratings, and everyone said it was a great game. I buy it. I played it for, no lie, probably about 2 hours. And then guess what happened? My modded PS2 screwed up. The disc scratched, and the game was destroyed. And it was Dragon Quest 8, people are saying. Dragon Quest 8, there you go. So I never got to play it. I never got to play Dragon Quest 8 because the game was destroyed, and I never got back to buying it and playing it again. So I am a fan of Dragon Quest, but there's a bunch of them I haven't played. Now, Dragon Quest 11, you just said that it's coming out 3 days before Spider-Man. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my calendar, so hold on a second. EQ11, okay. Good. So, here's my concern, guys. Real talk. I love Dragon Quest. I would love to play Dragon Quest as an RPG, alright, that maybe I balance, okay, with other stuff during the hardcore gaming season. As you guys know, the hardcore gaming season starts around August, September, and it's pretty much non-stop new releases for a solid 2 to 3 months, but it's always good to have variety, alright? So, Dragon Quest may be a great game to be doing during that time frame. However, what we need to do is we need to play it by ear and see what happens. And the reason I say that is because I'm not sure how things are going to go this summer. This summer in particular, I want to resume my Persona 5 playthrough. This is a playthrough that I was doing last year, and it got to almost 400 parts before I had to stop doing it because Atlas hit me with copyright strikes that were complete baloney, and eventually I did get them removed. But at that time, I did not deem it worth it to risk the shutdown of my channel on YouTube because Atlas was putting out these ridiculously stupid strikes that didn't even stick, okay? So that being said, Persona 5 went on hold. I am going to be resuming Persona 5 this summer. In fact, you guys may not be aware, I have made my Persona 5 playthrough visible again. If you want to watch that playthrough to get caught up with nearly 40 hours of gameplay that I was into the game already by the time that I put it on hiatus, you could do so. It's live on DSPGaming right now for your viewing fun and enjoyment, okay? Now, how much longer do I have in Persona 5? 20 more hours? People were saying I was about 2/3 through the game when I had to stop playing. So, all that being said, you know, how long will it take me to beat Persona 5? Well, first of all, when will I get to start playing Persona 5 again? I don't know. Will it be earlier in the summer, later in the summer? I don't know. So that's going to be one factor. Number two, when will I wrap up Persona 5? Because the bottom line is, if I'm still playing Persona 5, no, I can't start up Dragon Quest. And another thing, if I just finished Persona 5, chances are jumping right into another lengthy JRPG probably aren't in my best interest, alright? So, we got a lot of factors. Am I interested in Dragon Quest 11? Yes. However, already I'm playing Yakuza 6 now. Then we've got Persona 5. So depending on what happens with all these lengthy games I'm currently playing will determine what happens and if I actually play Dragon Quest 11. More information, obviously, on that. The closer we get to it. Okay? Alright. Shout out to Arclight 112. who just cheered and said, Phil, have you seen these trailer or gameplay for Detroit? Looks amazing. Will you be playing it? Well, first of all, have I seen gameplay? Well, I saw the gameplay they showed at E3 last year and or the trailers from back then. Okay. And I'm already, trust me, I'm probably one of the people who's most familiar with games from Quantic Dream. I've played them all. I played Fahrenheit. I played Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. I've thoroughly enjoyed every game I've ever played from Quantic Dream. I really like these games, okay? That being said, no, I recently did not play the demo. I recently did not look at any new trailers because I knew the game was so close. I didn't want to spoil the game for myself. So I didn't. I stayed away from any kind of spoilerish content for the past month, just so when I play the game, it'll be nice and a fresh, fun, legitimate experience with no spoilers. So, am I looking forward to Detroit? Yes. Will I be playing Detroit? Yes. Am I going to be playing it multiple times? More than likely, yes, because when I play Quantic Dream games, what I like to do is go back and replay them and do alternate choices to see how that changes stuff. A lot of the times you get alternate trophies or achievements, and you can even open up side plot lines and stuff by doing things differently, okay? So that being said, yes, I am very excited to check out Detroit. It will be a playthrough coming up later this month, and I hope you guys will join me for that. There you go. Shout out to Yusuke14K, who just cheered again and said, replay Ninja Gaiden 1. You need your revenge. He was talking about the original Ninja Gaiden on NES years and years ago when I was frequenting the convention scene. I was looking to expand my classic games collection, and so I was looking for different classic NES games and the like that I could play for YouTube. Keep in mind, back then I did not live stream. I was using a camera to record my gameplay on YouTube, alright? Ninja Gaiden was one of those games. And boy, did I try as hard as I possibly could to beat Ninja Gaiden on the NES. I couldn't do it. I got close. I could keep getting to the final boss. The problem is, for those of you who aren't aware, those classic NES games don't have checkpoints, don't have saves. Basically, they are incredibly gruelingly difficult to the point where if you want to beat the final boss, you have to go through the entire final stage, which is ridiculously difficult, then get to the final boss and beat him all on one life. No exaggeration. Like, you have to do it. If you die, you have to start the stage over. Holy shit. That game is one of the most challenging games ever made. Like I said, I got all the way to the end and I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off because I tried for like 2 hours straight and I couldn't get through this final stage and beat the final boss. So, would I ever go back and play it? Maybe. But probably I'm not in any interest to go back right now to do it, obviously. But it's always going to be one of those games that's going to stay there in infamy as the game that beat me. You know, much like the Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC for 3 years, so it lived in infamy as one of the games that beat me. Well, now I finally went back and got my revenge on that, but Ninja Gaiden is still one of those games, right? Cactuar Chaos just cheered again. He said, have you heard the leak about Rage 2? I personally felt that Rage was one of the most overlooked games, and I am happy it's getting a sequel. Well, here's the thing. Back then, I played games on PC because I was able to. This was before the era of direct capture live streaming. I would play these games on my PC and actually just hook them up to my TV and use keyboard and mouse to play right in front of me in my living room in Connecticut, okay? I really liked Rage, but I definitely agree with a lot of the critics. It didn't live up to expectations. People were really looking for Rage to be the next step in evolutionary gameplay for first-person shooters. Instead, it kind of was just a standard first-person shooter. It kind of felt like Doom in a lot of ways, you know, had a lot of similarities, and I can understand why some people got really disappointed by Rage and were looking for more from it, all right? Personally, I enjoyed playing it, but even I had criticisms of it in my review. I remember I said there were parts that are just boring, parts that are just a crazy grind, and they could have done more with it. So it's a good game, but certainly not a game that changed the face of gaming or really even advanced gaming. It was just kind of a passable, fun romp through an FPS world. Okay. Yeah, supposedly there's been a leak. Rage 2 is coming out. That's cool. And what I have to question is, will they advance the game much like they did with Doom? Remember what they did with Doom a couple years ago? It was a classic throwback game, but had modern gameplay elements in it that made it more accessible to the masses, and it ended up being a huge success. So, can they do the same thing with Rage? Can they make a sequel that has a lot of similarities to the original game, but maybe they tweak it and they improve it to the point where now it's a better game and people will accept it better? I don't know. We're going to see. But, yes, I am happy to hear that Rage is coming back. Anytime Bethesda puts out a first-person shooter, I love it. I love Bethesda's stuff. So, yeah, that's good news to me. 2 thumbs up. You know, id Software as well. id Software it works on Doom and Rage and all that shit. So, 2 thumbs up for me. Good news. Cannot wait for Rage 2. I hope we get some good information about Rage 2 at E3. At the Bethesda press conference. Alright. I think that's it for shoutouts. That took a while, guys. That was pretty much 25 minutes of straight shoutouts. But it was fun. Thank you guys for your support. Again, oh, actually what I should do, let me check sub count. I don't know if we went up or down, but let me double check this, okay? Sub count. We went down. Subs went down. Son of a bitch. Alright, it's okay. What are you going to do, guys? Like I said, that's the nature of the beast. When you live stream, sometimes your subs are up, sometimes your subs are down. There's not much you can do about it. Alright, well, shout out to King Swaggins, who just did a 20,000 100-bit cheer. 20,100 bits. That's almost the biggest cheer I've ever received. I believe the largest cheer I ever received was 30,000. Or just under. It might have been like 29,000. Popsicolo actually has the record. He knows. Well, he didn't do it, but he knows what the record is. What I meant to say. He documented it. But you're close. You're probably right now top 3 cheers I've ever received. So thank you very much, King Swaggins. Holy crap. Let's go ahead and read King Swaggins' message for this huge cheer he just did. He says, dude, that was some bullshit that you went through last night. 2 game crashes, and you die right before you made the top 10 in PUBG. Normally I wouldn't be as lenient, but you earned it. I was going to cheer this last night, but you ended the stream so fast, laughing out loud. So for those of you who don't know what King Swaggins is talking about, last night I was playing PUBG on the new map on Xbox One. They had a test server running, okay? And King Swaggins had made a challenge for me. He said, Phil, if you can go ahead and make top 10, I will cheer 20,000 bits. It's a challenge for you. And all night I tried. I got a bunch of kills. I actively for once was chasing people and killing people, which normally I don't. Usually I hide. I didn't. This time I was actually trying to get kills and stuff. It was pretty fun. By the end of the night, I was in, I think it was like, I was like 27th or something, right? Top 27. And I was in a hut, a little shack, and I was well within the white circle, so I was good. And as I was heading to this hut, well, actually I take this back. I was actually in a van in the top 27, and the game crashed. Now the game hasn't crashed in like a month. So when the game crashed, we were like, what the fuck? Why is this game crashing now? We thought they had fixed this problem. So I rejoined the game. It took 5 minutes. Somehow I was still alive. And I looked out, so I crawled to the top of a mountain. I went to the shack that was inside the white circle. And I was reaching top 20. A guy came into the shack. I completely got the drop on him. Opened fire, full auto with the AK-47, piercing his body, blood squirting everywhere. The game freezes again. Completely freezes again. Okay? And it's ridiculous, like 2 crashes within like 5 minutes. So the game crashes again. Now we're like, well, did Phil kill this guy? Did he not kill this guy? Is Phil dead? Is Phil still alive? Everyone on stream was like biting their nails because they wanted to see if I could make the top 10. So it took another 5 minutes. Another fucking 5 minutes for me to reload the game again. Okay? Everyone's thinking I'm going to be dead. To everyone's shock, I'm in 17th place. No, I take that back. I think I was like 16th or 15th place. And I'm still alive. The guy's body is in front of me. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to hurry up. So I'm trying to loot this guy with the quickness to see what he has on him. And as I'm looting the guy, another guy drives up on the outside and starts to stalk me. I'm like, oh, shit. So I quickly am fumbling around. I'm trying to pull out a weapon that's going to kill the guy. I barely get the weapon out in time. The guy sees me through the window, and I'm not even in his line of sight. So now, by the way, I'm 11th place. We got down to 11th. One more kill, I'll be top 10. The motherfucker somehow shoots me through the wall and kills me. It makes no sense. From my perspective, he could not see me. There was no direct line of sight. So it's just the game being a piece of shit like it is on Xbox One. The latency probably was wrong. More than likely, he could see me, and I should have been able to see him, but the connection was shit. Okay? And he gets a cheap kill. So I died, and it was 11th place. And everyone was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Phil was that close to getting top 10 and got completely cheated because the game kept fucking crashing. He couldn't properly loot the guy because the game kept crashing and he had to rush, and he definitely would have made top 10 if the game wasn't a piece of fucking garbage. So, it is what it is. You know, I ended the stream, but it looks like King Swaggins wanted to be nice to me anyway. So, thank you, King Swaggins, for the 20,100-bit cheer. Like I said, I believe that's probably the third, if not second biggest cheer I ever received. But I do know that once, because as Pops just posted the clip into the stream chat, at one time I did get a 30,000-bit cheer. Obviously huge. But thank you very much, King Swaggins. You are obviously not only the cheerleader for the stream, which I'm going to update right now. Okay? Holy crap. You're the cheerleader for the week. You're probably, you've got to be the cheerleader for the month, right? Hold on. Right? I'm pretty sure you're the cheerleader for the month. And I know with that cheer, you probably got yourself onto the all-time leaderboard, I would think. Right? Let me actually, I could confirm that if I can get my extension to work. Let's see here. Let me see something. Let me see if I can actually look this up. Alright, this is totally not accurate. This is very outdated. I need to refresh my dashboard, because the extension on my dashboard's from like a week ago. I gotta refresh this on my laptop. Alright, I go to refresh, I get a blank screen. That's always a good sign. Gotta give credit where credit is due, guys, so please bear with me here as I try to get stuff working. Alright, it's finally loading. Or it's trying to load. No, it's still a blank screen. Come on. Getting the Twitch dashboard to launch, or to load on my desktop is a very arduous, or excuse me, on my laptop, is a very arduous task. My laptop's old and doesn't even like to load web pages as is. So trying to get it to load a web page with lots of complicated, you know, Java and shit in it is like impossible. Alright, here we go. Now maybe this will work. Leaderboard. It's fucking blank. Oh my god. Come on, you piece of shit. Blank. I go to the leaderboard, it's completely blank. The stream, too. The stream preview is blank. Okay, now I finally loaded it. Alright, maybe now it'll work. Alright, so according to this, obviously King Swaggins is the top cheerer for this stream. Duh. I clicked on weekly. King Swaggins is the top cheerer for the week. Click on monthly. King Swaggins is the top cheerer for the month. And then click on all time. And hold on. And no, King Swaggins has not yet made it to the all-time top cheerers. But I gotta think he's close. He's gotta be like, he's gotta be top 10. But he's not in the top 6, which is what it judges here. So, but he's gotta be close. But anyway, thank you, King Swaggins. Obviously, You know, biggest cheer of the day, biggest cheer of the week. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead. And actually, before we begin, I want to actually give a shout out to all the top 10 cheerers for this week before we start, okay? So, number 1, King Swaggins in the lead, obviously, this week. Thank you, King Swaggins, for all the cheers this week. Appreciate that. Dr. Soundwave in 2nd. Sean Slayer in 3rd. Infinite in 4th. K. Jones in 5th. Mick G-Man in 6th. One Ton Hammer in 7th. Ring Dude in 8th. And then a tie between Social and Proud and Smart Weirdo for 10th. So thank all of you for your contributions this week. Much appreciated. Thank you guys very much. So, now, guys, we have finished all the shout-outs. That took a while, didn't it? I mean, I started shout-outs over a half an hour ago. But, hey, it is what it is. And it's obviously awesome that you guys support me so much. So thank you guys so much for your support, all right? So that is it. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's begin with actual gameplay of Dead Space 2, the Zealot difficulty run. If you remember, we're just starting up with the Ishimura, the ship from the first game, so we're going to see a lot of throwback locations to the first game, which is awesome. Reminder, if you guys do cheer, sub, or tip on today's stream, I will give you a shout-out, okay? Also, reminder, guys, right now, the best way to support me is with tips. Tips are going to help me directly right now, so you can tip either by looking below the stream and clicking on the tip jar button, or by typing exclamation point tip into the stream chat. A link will pop up. You can click there, and tipping me on my tips page, you know, is helping me out big time right now, okay? All right, that is it. Wait a minute. Whoa. King Swaggins just cheered again. He just cheered a 4,327-bit cheer. Good Lord. King Swaggins going crazy today. He says, there, I just got my 100K badge. I'm close to being number 6 on the all-time leaderboard, probably like 3,000 away. I would not debate that, King Swaggins, considering the fact that you've cheered a ridiculous amount this past week. You're probably very close to the top 6 of all time. Thank you very much, sir. All right, are you guys ready for Dead Space 2? I hope you are. I hope you guys are. All right. That's it, guys. Thank you. Let's begin. Dead Space 2. How many times will I die today? People will take bets in the stream chat. How many times will Phil die today? Probably a ridiculous amount. So. Excuse me. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And let's begin.